knew that I was going to work with Edie Falco in some capacity in my career as an actor because I wanted to, and told me that Edie is probably the single most responsible for who she is as an actor now. That
I can just say she is the most reassuring, comfortable person to shoot with.
Hello, hello, Charlie. It's Kayli, right?
Haley, yeah.
Yeah, I got it right. Sometimes I mix it up. Thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to talk to you both. I was talking to Brandon and I said to him that I love the movie. I can see myself there. I can see my family, the dynamic, the ice cream talks with the grandmother and the mother. That's amazing. How cool is that? So I'm gonna start with you, Kaylee. What was about the script? What was about Sarah that got your attention?
I don't think you see movies like this made very often, which is definitely one driver for me. I think that anytime I pick up something and all of the people inside of it feel really specific, that they feel like real people, that I can sense that I know that everything about Sarah could be played at an 11, which that piece was very exciting to me, that I could kind of go as far as I wanted with her, and that I could trust the writing, that she was still a very real person inside of that, despite like the comedic hijinks. I think the relationship with her mother and her grandmother is really what I felt the most seen by. And so the ice cream scenes were probably the biggest, like, oh, I just want to already be shooting that scene with Edie and Jeannie, like today when I read it.
It's amazing. And for you, Charlie, what was about Mark that got your attention?
Yeah, I mean, it was really the script and the chance to work with Edie and just the great ensemble cast that drew me in initially. But yeah, I liked how Mark was. He has a lot going on, but Kelly said a lot today. Like, there's it didn't make his identity wasn't dealing in one issue. It's not like his story was a story of addiction. Like, that is a part of it. But I liked how nobody in the script were caricatures, and they seemed like fully fledged real people, and like people that I know. So it was kind of a no brainer of something that I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, you both mentioned Eddie and how was like work with her and to create this dynamic because you guys like, oh my God, this is the mother and two sons there. And you two are great together, like fighting with each other. Like it's amazing. How was like work with with her, Kelly?
I knew that I was going to work with Edie Falco in some capacity in my career as an actor because I wanted to. And this was a great opportunity to do that. I called one of my friends who had worked with Edie for years, and she told me that Edie is probably the single most responsible for who she is as an actor now, that Merritt's time working with her on Nurse Jackie was life-changing for her as an actor. And so for me, when I hear that kind of rave review from somebody that I love and trust, I just knew that Edie and I were going to get along right away, and it did happen that way. She invited Jeannie and I to her home very early on in the process, and we sat at her kitchen table and read the ice cream scenes together. And I was in my mom's house with my grandmother. It felt that fond immediately.
And for you, Charlie?
For what was it like working with Edie?
Yes, yes, work with
Uh,
Eddie.
uh, I'd worked with Edie before in the past, not in this much capacity. I can just say she is the most reassuring, comfortable person to shoot with, and while being like so unpretentious, but so in tune with the material and so self-aware, and like I knew signing on to this that like whatever nerves I had about my performance I would be quelled on the day by just the fact that I get to act opposite Edie.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the movie is like says it all. Family is everything, for the best, for the worst. They're always there for you, always there trying to support you in anything. And that's the experience that I have. So I want to know if you guys can share one of your favorite family memories. If you guys can share of you, Kelly, and you, Charlie, something that you can share, of course, if you want to.
Sure. I'm very close with my family. I have a very large family, and they're very we do Christmas Eve instead of Christmas. My grandmother is Cuban and Puerto Rican, and so there's a big roast pork and plantanos and black beans and rice and lots of unhinged dancing. And as I've gotten older, that's only become like closer to me. I really relish that dynamic and that relationship. My parents, both their sets of parents, loved each other so much that they went on vacation alone together. So I just got this really charmed experience of two families becoming one and becoming louder and bigger and more in love with each other, which is not everyone's experience. I always think of my grandparents very drunk on eggnog, dancing on Christmas Eve. So that is that's what I'll give you.
Yes, yes, I know. I also just celebrate Christmas Eve as well. My family. I'm Brazilian, so we celebrate the 24th instead of the 25th,
Yeah.
and then we drink a lot too. And you, Charlie, any family memory that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to come up with something specific, but like my mom comes from a sort of big family. She has three siblings, and they all have kids, and they like made a conscious effort when like they were first having kids to like very much keep that alive. And so I'm like very close with my cousins, like as much as my siblings.
Yeah.
And we grew up like just spending time at my grandparents' house with them. And like I didn't, a lot of people, like, and then I grew up and like my friends like were like, oh yeah, my cousin lives in town. I don't really see them that often. I didn't know that people were not that close with like their extended family. So yeah, my family made like a conscious effort to keep the cousins and the aunts and uncles together.
That's amazing. Kelly, there is some scenes like very relatable to me, especially the hospital scene. And I don't know how difficult was that for you? Was a challenge, like to pretend to be pregnant the whole movie, pretty much. How was that?
So I have never given birth in my life. And yet, in a lot of projects, I've been asked to be a mother or be trying to get pregnant or pregnant. I mean, this is a very consistent storyline for me. But I think that something that I've always been kind of amazed by is that the conversation around pregnancy is like not very honest, right? Like women will get together and they will talk about the real of it all, and like, and all of the stuff that can't be talked about in public forums. But I think that that's changing. And so for me, I really loved the opportunity that Sarah got to be miserable, joyful, excited, terrified, that like all of these things got to be happening in her simultaneously felt to me more honest. Like that she was uncomfortable in her body, that she didn't really know if she was going to be a good mom. I think all of those doubts are part and parcel to being a pregnant person. And I've had several pregnant people tell me that I was walking. One woman at the hospital did think that I was pregnant and was very worried about me. So that's a really good sign, I think. That made me feel like I was going in the right direction.
Yeah, the walking, the way that you cry, like he's not moving, he's not moving. I was like, that's the perfect sensation, everything,
Well,
everything. Like I love it. I love you. Keep doing, you keep playing the pregnant woman. I
maybe
love
a
it.
break for a little while, but then I'll get back on that horse.
Yeah. I know, I know, I know. And you, Charlie, did you have like any challenges? I know that it's like kind of a simple character, but at the same time, he's very complex because he's like dealing with a lot of like issues. Like
Yeah.
any
Well,
challenge there?
I think the challenge was like he's a character without a center and without a thing, and he's a little directionless. He doesn't have a clear motive, and he's a little unpredictable, and he doesn't know who he is himself. So that's like a challenge while also being exciting. And I could really just sort of lean on the dynamic of the family and try and fit in what I think the character would be based on what everyone else was bringing to the table. So there's a challenge in that, but everyone, the writing was beautiful, and working with Brendan was great, and I had an easy time with the whole cast. So it was any challenges that I thought would be challenges were quelled.
So I need to ask you guys that you guys are gonna be reunited for A Complete Unknown. So anything that you guys can tease us, you, Kelly, as Maria, anything that you can tell about?
Well, the trailer looks great.
Yeah, the trailer does look great. The trailer looks excellent. We're both very excited to see it. We were just saying, like, there's so much that we weren't there to film. I mean, there's so much of this that's Timmy and that's Jim, like, that we weren't there for. So I'm really excited to see all of the things that I wasn't there. The things that I got to see, I was so impressed by everyone and by the authenticity of the time period. And I was really excited to be playing a real person who I had the opportunity to talk to. She told me great stories. Maria is still performing all year long. I mean, like, she's working more than I am. Maria's got it together.
Right.
And I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah, and for you, Charlie,
Al
is also alive, right? Both are alive, right?
Yeah. I talked to him. It's great. It was an amazing experience, very like unique, like because like first there's not a lot of movies made with that scope and scale anymore getting made, and like they really sprung for all the bells and whistles as far as the period piece setting, and just working with Jim was amazing. He's just a very deliberate director who has the whole movie mapped out seemingly. So I'm just really excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, I'd work with Jim again anytime. He was
yes,
great.
Please.
Sir.
Please, let's throw in the universe. Let's send to him.
Yeah, Charlie and I'll keep working together if you want us to. Just like that's our blanket. I'll keep working with Charlie as many times as people
want. For a package deal.
Package deal from now on, Charlie.
Amazing. No, I'm very excited too, and very excited for all the next projects that you guys have on deck for it. Anything else aside from this one, Kelly, that you have coming up soon?
I've been working on my own stuff. I'm finishing a script that's very important to me, that's about my family, and it's in a really great place. I got to hear it out loud, read by some wonderful actors the other day, and to be thinking about producing my own work, to be writing my own work, that feels like the most creative outlet for me at the moment. I'm very excited by that.
Amazing. And you, Charlie, anything?
I have a friend of mine, Max Talisman, made a great movie called Things Like This, which should be is getting a theatrical release. They haven't made the announcement yet, but and I wrote a script and I'm trying to get something off the ground for me to direct. But yeah, that's it.
It's amazing. I cannot wait for the projects to be out. I'm here, always here to talk about, to tell the people, go watch those projects, go watch those movies, the series, whatever it is. I love that. I just want to thank you so much for your time, Kelly, Charlie. A lot of success and keep bringing good characters that I love, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Sarah and Mark, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos.